What's up, y'all? Jeff here, no cutscenes. Thanks for watching another part of my Let's Build a Castle at the Castle, and this is part 3, where last time we built that castle. I also have this modern home that I built. I'll do a guide on how to do like kind of modern stuff sooner, but yeah, for right now, let's just go ahead. We'll build the front gate. I've already placed down one of the concrete foundations there, and we're going to go ahead, just place the doorway. We're not going to use the powered door. I might change that later if I want to have like the ability to let people in or not, but I've been having some problems with the provisioners not being able to get through, even though, of course, they still have the supplies. I like the lore ability of it where it actually looks like they're walking through. And here, you'll see me messing around trying to figure out some different ways to do it. Maybe it's just the placement of that original shack foundation, but it just wouldn't work as far as having like a couple of the other shack floor pieces, the 1x1s. It worked here with the ladders, so I eventually ended up just doing the ladders at the end, and I tried to do the drop down technique where you stand on top of it and it'll drop down perfectly, but those stairs in the front seem to be messing it up. Now, I could have just left it like that, but I wanted to have some sort of stairs there, and if it would have stayed like this, I would have been perfectly fine with it, but I couldn't put the stairs on the other side. Now, I'm sure with a little bit of tweaking I could have, but honestly, like, as long as I have a way to walk up there myself, I'm going to be fine because the back entrance works for everybody. I even tried the bridge here, and you could do that definitely if you want to put like one of the ladder staircases up there. I mean, you know, it's really up to you. Again, you don't even have to follow how I do it here. I ended up actually placing some of the other floor pieces here, some of the rounded ones, and yes, they can actually walk over top of it for the most part, I believe. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing. So built the front, good to go. I wish I could have used the what is it, the square ones as opposed, but yeah, we couldn't. So now we got to build up the top here. We'll go ahead and remove this because we're going to be using those up top. And the cool thing is the castle is, as long as you see that like little ledge over on the side there, if you get it kind of square, if you get it parallel with that as far as the actual concrete foundation, even though I didn't have it here, I'll show you in a second, like it's offset a little bit, but I'm going to move it back anyway. See, if you get it lined up with that, it's going to be lined up on the other side too. So it basically creates this perfectly flush wall, and it's awesome. So there we go. I have it. I have the basis for it. I took that away because I wanted to have a little bit more foundation underneath. You know, if you want to put some stairs up there, which we will do, definitely do that. But I ended up putting walls here because these new walls, the concrete walls, clip through about pretty much anything. And I didn't want to have a bunch of the blocks. I wanted to have some areas where you could actually walk up underneath because I'm going to make this into kind of like a barracks armory den. And here, of course, you can see out. If you want to place another like defense post there, one of the guard posts, whatever. Now, these stairs are just so I can get up on there, and of course, you can just walk around. But I just ended up actually placing them over here. And even later, I actually changed it because actually add on a little bit. So yeah, again, all of my builds, they're not set in stone. They're not 100% finished when I leave something off. I will often change my mind. If that annoys you, please tell me. I will stop and I will do more of like my guide videos where I already have things built. But I love actually doing these Let's Builds now because I don't know why. I think it's just a good way to show like my process, because normally I'll just show you like the polished version as opposed to me figuring out stuff along the way. See, even here, like I kind of ended up figuring out that if you place one of these walls first, then one of the angled ones, you're actually going to have a better spot. Now, it will intersect the floor here, but if you switch it around, if you turn it around, there's going to be a little gap. And that's actually going to be good because this little gap here, that little one that's along the doorway wall, the concrete doorway, is going to be a perfect fit to snap the concrete doorway in. So you're good. And here, I just made it so that it doesn't look like it's floating or anything. I wanted to be able to put like a bedroom here. And then this part, have a little balcony viewing area. Again, just so that you can look out, see who's coming, approve them. I might eventually end up putting like one of the power doors where the gate is. And then having a switch up there so I can like let people in and shit if I'm ever just always there. But since I'm always building in different areas, probably won't. And here, yeah, I use the drop down technique where if say you put something up top and then you stand on it, it will drop down perfectly square, perfectly flush with the actual piece that you have, the flooring. So what you're going to do here, just follow my technique. It's really easy. It took me maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and of course all this is sped up, just or else it would be a 40-minute video. But yeah, it's really easy to do, and kind of my rule of thumb is you'll see me unable to get through that shack stairwell in a second, and that's kind of where I go up one more, and then that's where I have the actual little wall, balcony, whatever you want to call it, end up being. And you'll see here, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to test with the concrete walls because, again, I just love how they work. I love how you can build with them. And yeah, you just kind of want to test it to see, like, okay, I can look out over there. Cool. Then put the shack floors or the concrete floors just how you have it down below, so you can get it exactly the same and it's going to be flush. Or else, I mean, you can estimate it, you can guesstimate it kind of, but I don't like doing that. Just take a little bit more time to get it perfect. I like that. If you're doing a junk build, you don't really need to, but you can use the rug glitch with everything. And yeah, here we have a little curved outcrop. It's going to look pretty good. And kind of, yeah, you just have to go and find the right place to actually drop down and put the curved wall there. Really easy. So, again, if you want, what you're going to need to do here, you can also put it up more if you want. You could just keep doing that technique that I showed you. But what you want to do is you always want to leave one of your shack floor pieces at the same height that you made it, just in case you want to use it for any other purposes throughout the rest of your build. And since it's already squared up with the concrete floor, or the concrete foundation, excuse me, you can just kind of move it around. You only need one other piece and you just keep moving them and moving them. And then here, just make a little room, little bedroom, put some beds in there, of course, a little later. And everything as far as decoration, I will leave that up to you. But just for the actual building itself, you're probably going to want to follow this if you want to recreate it, of course, or just use these ideas, which is what I mostly want you all to do. Just use the ideas to make your own. And here, maybe we can even put, like I said, I'll put like one of the powered switches so that, hey, you're a traitor? All right, you're good. You're not a fucker. You're not a raider. You're not a gunner. You're not a ghoul. You can come in. Something like that. And I have my Yaguais roaming around. I got 6 of them now. I don't know if I want to have death claws just because, I don't know, I think that's a little freaky for the castle build that I'm going for. And I think the bears fit perfectly for the medieval style that I want to do it. Medieval modern style. Yeah. I kind of went, again, like I said, Frank Lloyd Wright meets Irish and Welsh castles with a little bit of modern flair. And I love using these angled pieces here because they're really easy to work with. And again, like, if you want, you can have another little outcrop, little area balcony. But what I ended up doing is I ended up making kind of the floor pieces there so that you can have this piece hang off it. And again, you'll see me move that other floor piece that I made that I put higher up a little bit all the way over. And it's super easy to do. You just have to make sure that you have the amount of materials. That's really it. Go ahead. We'll put our angled doorway here. And because it has that gap where that regular concrete doorway is, it's going to snap perfectly just like the other side. And this is where you'll see me move it. It's going to be super easy to do. All you need to do really is just get more of the 1x1s and make sure that you have enough space between them. And I put all the ones that I already used, so you're not using any new pieces. You're not taking away from your size limit or just using materials that you don't need to use. And basically, you just move them on over. You can go up here and stand on top of them. It's going to be a little easier because you just whip it right around. Keep doing that until you reach the other side. And like I said, because it's going to be perfect, it's going to be ready to snap immediately, it's going to be real easy and it's going to work out really well. So as you can see here, it's already lined up. All you got to do basically is move them out to where you want it. And what I ended up doing was just using one of the smaller concrete floors or concrete walls, the half wall, to give myself some base. And give myself some area to work with. And again, you want to keep a piece just out randomly because I'm going to build up the rest of the wall, maybe halfway, not like the entire thing that I have here. But yeah, what I ended up doing was just using one of the smaller concrete wall pieces, putting a couple of those there. And again, since everything snaps really easily, you just move them back and forth. And here, yeah, I didn't really want to have like supports hanging down all the way, but you'll see how I fix that. So it's pretty easy. And you can put the railing there. You can even put the wood railings there, which I end up doing. But yeah, like I didn't want to have these two things sticking down just randomly. So I ended up just using the angled doorways and then the angled concrete walls to give myself some support. Now, With concrete, most of the time it's going to snap if you kind of go lower. See, like you just go down the slope of the hill that you have here. But unfortunately, some of them just won't. And I mean, you might have been able to get it after a while, or you could do like the trick where you just hold the left bumper and A or L1 and X on the PS4 and it goes down. But some you just have to like you have to press it like instantly. It's really hard to do, but you can do this. It's a super easy fix. You basically just get the level that you need, and it looks like it's supported. You can put it in the front there if you want, but that would have basically just been doing what we did with those concrete pylons. It just wouldn't make sense. So I wanted to see if I could do it here. Again, I might have just tried a little bit more, but I kind of wanted to make it uniform as far as the support itself. So if one side was just weirdly angled and the other was like a pylon, it just wouldn't make sense. But there we go. You have a lot more area to move. I ended up trying to do this too, but it would have just been too much of a clusterfuck. It would have looked really strange, things hanging off. Honestly, I think that's good enough. And then go ahead and place your small doorway there just so that it's completely closed off. This area I'm going to have is like maybe the kitchen, just a little shooting area. And again, if you just need to shoot somebody out there, you got a nice little area. You don't have to put just one of the railings, but of course you can if you want to. If you wanted to just not have that, you didn't need to. You didn't need to have the actual concrete pylons, but I kind of liked how they looked. I don't know. I just like that they look like walrus tusks, whatever. Sue me. Okay, so now we got to build up the rest of it. We can't just have it bland. We can't just have it where it looks like it's just a walkway. I ended up trying to do that at first, but again, since all my stuff kind of changes, I was just like, fuck it, that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But already, like, the front of it, I think looks pretty good. It's a little unique. It's not extremely unique like my my other one where it's like different angles because everything is based off the same foundation. Now, and I mean, that's just kind of something you get if you do a build like this, but if you wanted to, you could have just started like two sides separately, one at a higher angle, one at a lower angle. Like, again, it's up to you to use all these ideas that I have, and I please welcome you. And see, this is where like it gets tricky, but honestly, I think it's just because that stupid fucking Brahmin couldn't get through the door, just like the Yaguai earlier couldn't. Maybe I don't know, I'll do some multi-select with like the junk fence, the one that has that massive gate, but for some reason this guy he doesn't want to go through. And it doesn't really matter because he can go around the other side and just go through the back door that I have made. It doesn't really matter to me. And again, settlers, new ones that come in, they'll just either appear or they can go through that back door. Yeah, so it's good. And I still have all the materials. It's not like if you can't get through the damn door, I lose my materials. So I'm okay with it. If you all are okay with it, continue to build. So I ended up just making some stairs here, just so it would be a little easier. I might, in the future, just go ahead and make that like circular entrance like I did before. Maybe we'll see some more people kind of being able to use it. And yeah, what you'll see here is me trying to get this thing down in there. And what I ended up doing was that super fast where you hold the left bumper or L1 and press A or X, depending if you're on the Xbox or PS4, and you just have to like press it extremely fast. And sometimes you'll get it like two concrete walls or two pylons there, but the previous one, the one that's in the background, did snap. So I'm okay with that. I'm completely fine. I think I ended up even taking away this here because you don't even really need it. Like, I put some stairs there just so that gave you like the illusion of having, I don't know, some area to walk on. He still isn't going on it. That doesn't really bother me. I don't really care about provisioners. Like, he can fuck off, whatever. I know he carries all my materials, but yeah, for right now, for this purpose, it's all good. All right, so we got our little area here. Now we need to make the rest of it. So what I wanted to do was just use some of the pylons. I didn't want to make it like completely closed in. I just wanted to use some of the pylons to give it support. And the easiest way to do that is you put one of the shack upper floors against one of your already existing walls, put one of the other concrete walls on top of the other side, put one of the other walls, doesn't matter which one, underneath it, it'll snap, and then you can actually snap the power or the concrete pylons against it underneath the floor. It won't work with the roof, unfortunately, but it will work with the floor, and since the floor is perfectly flush, I mean, there's a little bit of a gap, but that shouldn't really bother you. Like, it's negligible, you know? And if you even put, like, the floor over top of where that wall is, facing towards the outside, there won't be any gap, which you'll see later. But basically, you just kind of want to repeat it for the rest of the way. And since I forgot that I actually had the 1x1s included in one part of them, I just decided, yeah, might as well make it uniform. So again, you just kind of place it on the outside. You can even place it there, like where these existing walls are. And I wanted to make a little walkway that didn't have any pylons intersecting, but for some reason the stairs wouldn't go there, so we actually ended up using the wooden stairs. Not even the smaller ones, the actual one that's kind of like a angled ladder. But yeah, I don't know why the concrete ones weren't there, but when I actually tried the wood ones that look like those concrete ones, the smaller ones, it hangs off the edge a little bit, and I didn't like that. And I mean, if you want to get really tricky, you can of course do the drop down technique with your shack floors, but staircase just like that is good enough. So again, basically, so you get a reference point, go ahead. I keep on forgetting that you can't just place the concrete pylons underneath them. It'll snap in the middle, but then it'll be off a little bit, so you just don't want that. And then after there, go ahead, replace them, and you just keep moving it down the line, basically like how that is. But again, I forgot that I had this part here, so I wanted to make, before I went any further, the 1x1 shack floors, or the concrete floors. I'm so used to calling them shack floors because that's what I had for so long. I do apologize. Again, you snap it up top there, snap one down below. Since it's going to be easy to snap, that's all you need to do. Keep moving it along with the concrete walls, the concrete pylons, the long skinny ones, and bam, there we go. We're going to go ahead and put one down there anyway. We're just going to use, again, we're going to use our materials sparingly just because I'm getting ready for survival and I want to think in that way where if I don't have to use something or I already have something built, I don't need to use it again. So yeah, what I ended up doing here, I actually just placed a little small concrete floor, just a 1x1, and it gives you a little bit easier area. See, it's not like you're walking directly into that concrete pylon. Now, we're going to have to make something to go up top, just because, you know, you want to be able to walk around up top. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to place those defense posts, those guard posts up top. The weird thing is with the castle, because they had those pre-existing ones, if you actually place new ones in areas that are close to where they had the pre-existing ones, where that little angled area is hanging off, the settlers, they just stand where the old ones were, even if they're completely accessible, like as far as, you know, being able to traverse it. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's a glitch or whatever, but yeah, I just kind of had to live with it. It's okay. Maybe it's for aesthetics, or maybe once I fast travel out of there, they'll be fine. But yeah, for right now, it's weird. But again, what you saw me do there was just quick save it in case I didn't like how the end result came out. And you know, I'm okay with this staircase. I kind of like using the wood ones just a little better because they actually intersect the ground. The concrete ones, you have to put another piece of stairs there, or they're going to look like they're kind of floating off the edge. And I wish Bethesda would have made them just like a little bit longer. You know, like that would have been pretty easy to do. They could have just made them a little longer. Yeah, so here I ended up placing some guard posts. And yeah, like I said before, like if you assign your settlers, they'll stand where the other ones were. And it looks like they're doing their guard routine. I just don't know if maybe it's, yeah, a glitch, or because they can't, for some reason, can't get up there. But like Ada can. I've watched her walk all the way up the entire thing and have no problem. All right, so now we're going to need some more turrets. So what I do for the turrets, super easy. You just do the rug glitch, because you can't actually place them on the outside wall, but if you have a point where the rugs are, you can place them. And the good thing is, once you take away the rugs, they won't drop at all, so it doesn't look like they're, you know, intersecting the floor or anything ridiculous. Yeah, I think they look pretty good. So yeah, I tried to assign this guy. He's an asshole. He doesn't want to come up. But basically, we just did it on the other side as well for the other turret, where that other little gap is. And I'll probably end up placing some containers, maybe some of those wooden crates or whatever, you know, even like a gun rack or something, just so that there's no gappage, like right there. But yeah, pretty much now, like, we have our gatehouse completed. So I hope y'all liked it, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next part. I am going to be showing, again, very soon, all of my tips and tricks part 4 video, just like I said before, my other data was corrupted, and it just kind of got me down for a little bit, so I just decided to go build. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff like I'm going to be showing just things that I've been doing even before Wasteland Workshop, that now with the items from Wasteland Workshop, it just increased my building again. So please stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe for more content. I'll show you a full tour of the castle once I have it done, and of course we're going to be doing more castle builds because we have to build the courtyard area, we have to build the training barracks, we have to build the shooting range, and I might make another modern house. I just wanted to make one off the side there. I'll do a tour of it, but yeah, here's a little mini tour of what we've built. So part 3 is done. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And yeah, see that one in the distance? Like, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm a huge architect buff. I love Frank Lloyd Wright, especially. When I was going to college, he was, my main inspiration for design and architectural design. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll have a lot more modern stuff up. All right, bye guys.